Hi, this is Robert Strickland. This is a tutorial on how to use GEMCAD for Windows to design a 9-main round brilliant, and today we're going to do it using 96 index gear. Let's get started and set our symmetry to 9-fold mirror image symmetry. So I'm going to highlight what's in the symmetry box, make sure the mirror checkbox is checked and click apply. And then I'm going to select the 96 index gear. So I'm going to move my cursor to the ID position indicated by the angle brackets and click. I'm going to select 96 from the drop down box and click OK. I'm going to jump right in and cut the girdle facets first. So give it an angle of 90 and an index of 3, and the index of 3 came from the previous lesson. So if you don't understand where I got the 3, look at the 72 index gear lesson. And then cut facet. Okay, so we've cut our girdle facets. Now let's cut our pavilion brake facets. So let's give it an angle, pick an angle, angle 44. Index again of 3. I need to use the same index as the girdle facets. And now I need to give it a point on somewhere on the facet of index position 3. You can see if I click on this facet, its index is 3. So I'm on the right facet and click in the facet and then click use to cut, and now we're ready to cut the facet. And we've cut our pavilion brakes now. Now we're ready for the pavilion mains. So we're going to cut, pardon the cat abuse there, need to cut the mains. So I'm going to meet this point, and I'm going to meet this point on the edge here, and that's just establishing the edge of the girdle of the main facet, and its index is 96 or 0, either one, whichever you prefer. Okay, so now we finished our pavilion and we're ready to transfer. We're going to click the little transfer fixture icon here. And we need to cut our crown brake facets. So pick an angle, 38 degrees. And I'm going to use the control key trick now to leave some girdle facet, leave some girdle thickness. And we'll give it an index of 3 again, and we're going to cut the facet. Now we've cut our crown brake facets and we're ready to cut our crown mains. Just like on the bottom, I'm going to do this by eye. So click this meet point here, and that looks about big enough for mains, and an index of 96 or 0. And we're going to cut those. So far this is really no different at all than cutting an 8-sided brilliant or the 9-sided brilliant on a 72 index gear, other than the index numbers. So next I'm going to cut the star facet. So we're going to meet this point, and unfortunately I need to cut this halfway between 96 and 11. So let's try 5. And I want to meet this point here in the middle of the facet. Let's see what we get. Uh-oh, we got some facets that missed the stone, and we can also see that we've got some extra facets. Let's zoom in on the top view. That didn't go so well. The solution to the problem of the extra facets is, instead of starting at index 5, we'll start up here at index 48. So use to cut, index of 48, and that looks about the right size. Okay, good news, bad news. The good news is we've only got 9 star facets. The bad news is the meet points are lousy. Well, we're going to fix those later though. So let's give it a meet point and then cut the table, angle of 0. Okay, now I'm going to repair all of these meet points, and what I'm going to do is treat the stone just as if it were a pear shape or a shield, and use 1-fold mirror image symmetry. So I'm going to use GEMCAD's Uncut Recut feature. So I'm going to click in this facet, do Uncut Recut, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click at a point halfway. I'm going to use GEMCAD's fraction of edge length feature to bisect that line. So I'm going to enter 0.5, and that'll give me a point halfway between this point and that point. And we'll recut. Okay, next I'm going to just march around the stone. So Uncut Recut, click, Use to Cut, click, Use to Cut, and cut facet. Okay, somewhere in there it's deleted some of our facets, but we know that we want to be halfway between 24 and 29. So let's go 26. Meet this point and meet that point. And we'll cut. Next we need one between these two facets. That's 35 and 40. So say 37. Meet this point and meet that point and cut that. Next we need another facet at 48 index. Okay, that completes our round brilliant. If I had it to do over again, I probably would have changed the index on this facet, but that's basically how you would use GEMCAD to design a 9-sided round brilliant using a 96 index gear. Thanks for your attention.